The movies are the best teacher on this, and we have movies that have been on television, now they're in reruns, now the old movies are playing again. And in each of those Hollywood perspectives, they have looked at Indians as a generic, an Indian. All Indians were alike. They all said how to greet. They all rode horses and lived in teepees. When we know and when we begin to study this, we recognize a tremendous diversity. The regions of this country alone that provided different resources, and Indian people were very much interdependent on what the resources were that were in their area. In the Southwest, we see very different artifacts of that culture than we do in Montana, than we do in the Southeast, than we do in the East. And the housing was tremendously different. Everybody understands that an igloo came from the far north. But do they really understand the tremendous solar energy and utilization that is necessary in an ice structure, or that a teepee affords in a conical shape and airflow, and how does that happen? How do you accommodate many people and different kinds of buildings that were done? Why did the Northwest Coast people build houses where only the frame was permanent and everything else was portable? All of these things are things that are part of the diversity. Unfortunately, the movies stereotyped us into a very small range of who we might be. And because of that, and a very short period of time, that tends to sensationalize the period of the westward movement. But it doesn't talk about what happened to Indian tribes prior to the European westward movement. There was a lot of crowding tribes together, and internal strife and sharing of knowledge and information. The artifacts of European life traveled much faster than they did. The trade and exchange routes were very strong. And so what allowed that to happen? How did this barter system and the market system come together in that westward movement? If we were to believe that all Indians were like the John Wayne movies, we would not know the diversity even within this state. The Salish people are the easternmost of plateau folks who are bordering a plains group. That those two culture groups wouldn't be understood if we accept the movie version. The crowding into Montana of tribes that used to live further east or further north or further south, we have to understand that in order to realize why these groups were here at the time of treaties. Why did these groups get put together at time of treaty? And that would not be so if we don't look at each of these. Even within this reservation, within the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribe, it is a confederation of Salishan-speaking tribes, multiple, and Kootenai tribe, one of 7 groups. And that confederation is viewed sometimes as an agreeable confederation, and sometimes there's friction. We have differences. When you listen to our languages spoken, you will hear different tonal qualities, different ways of emphasizing words or sounds, and it makes a difference to how we speak English. How we speak English is influenced by the language of our heritage, even if we didn't speak it. So even that lingers beyond when we are truly aware of it.